now we're going to demonstrate our kettlebell swing. So we want to start our kettlebell swing by stepping just behind the weight. We want a little bit of space so we can use that hip hinge to reach forward, grabbing hold of the kettlebell. We're going to initiate our swing by pulling it in between the legs and then driving into our hip hinge to bring that weight up to shoulder height. So nice and controlled on the way down, and then we're working that power to drive the weight up as we push our hips forward using those glutes and hamstrings. Nice, Grace. 3 more. The third exercise we're going to look at is a great movement using the dumbbells. We're going to go into a squat to overhead press. So picking up those weights, we're going to start with the weights on the shoulder. We're going to go a little bit wider with our feet so we can come into a nice deep squat. Beautiful. So we're going to come down to the bottom of that squat. We want the elbows to come inside the knees at the bottom position. And we're going to drive as fast as we can, push those weights up overhead, back to the shoulders, reset. Nice. So here the intention is on the speed, the force development in that movement from the bottom of that squat as we drive those weights up overhead. And at the top of that movement, we're trying to get those biceps next to the ears. So nice and quick. Back to the shoulders, reset. 2 more, Grace, looking really nice. Yes. And drive. So plyometrics are a really important exercise for looking after our bone health and building a really strong, healthy skeleton. We want to make sure we're jumping, bounding in multiple directions. So something like running isn't going to give us the stimulus that we need to build a healthy skeleton. So I'm going to show you some of the favorite go-to plyometric exercises that I use in the gym working with my clients. If someone is quite new to jump training, to plyometric training, I would often start with something like a plate or just on the ground. So plyometric training also will be developing power, force. The difference with plyometrics is it's usually that jumping action. And rest. So we can change this a little bit by coming to the outside edges of the plate, so working in a slightly different way. So we're working in a lateral movement pattern. We're going to jump on the plate and then jumping out to the sides. So exactly the same. Perfect. Well done, Grace. Good. So if you're looking for something a little bit more advanced and you've progressed from working with a little bit more height through those plate jumps, we can come onto the box jump. So again, I would start low and build up progressively over time, increasing that box. And then trying to make that landing as soft as we can. So the intention here is on that explosive move, using that hip hinge, driving the arms up. Nice, safe landing. Let's go for 3 more. Well done. Perfect. So my third favorite exercise for building in some plyometrics is battle ropes. So battle ropes are great if you are a beginner coming to plyometrics for the first time. So this really gives us a safe, low intensity variation that we can use with clients when trying to develop that plyometric and power. So we're going to pick up the battle ropes. There's lots of different variations we can work with, but we're going to work with our alternate arm coming into that battle rope movement. Perfect. So sitting back into those hips, Grace has got a great position here. Chest is lifted, and we're working to develop that plyometric movement through the battle ropes. Next, let's look at a step-up variation of our plyometrics. I love this one because often you can find a park bench or just something outside that you can use to practice this movement pattern. So we're going to set up with one leg on the box. And we want to think about intention. So our intention here, we want to be bringing a little bit of power into this plyometric movement as well. So as we step up, we're going to try to get the foot on the box off the box. Nice. So we're driving that right leg through the floor and creating that plyometric movement as we jump. And the more power we have, the more force we can develop, the higher we're going to get. So a really great exercise for single leg plyometric and power development. Nice. So another great variation that we can use if you're relatively new to plyometric training, something a little bit less high intensity, is our mountain climbers. So we're going to start by setting up in a nice strong plank position, so shoulders stacked over the wrists, tucking under those toes, and we're going to drive the knee in towards the chest. So driving that knee, so using that force. Last 5, 4, keep the shoulders over the wrists, gaze between the hands. Beautiful.